Woolworths is a combination of food and clothing retailer operating in South Africa and Australia.
Yep, that's what you need to know now because of the acquisition of David Jones and the other stuff that they had there before, like Witchery and Mimco. It's actually slightly more Australia than South Africa, so you've got to really pay attention to what's going on there. Here in South Africa, though, I think it's well known that they are the dominant player at the upper end of the food market and also have repositioned their clothing offering substantially, much more progressive than they used to be.
Market cap is 90.7 billion rand. Sorry, Chris, we have to do this. The director's very upset that you need to reposition your chair slightly.
Sorry, how's that?
They're telling us in our ear, and
Right.
There we go. Director, are you happy? Does that make you feel we can continue with the rest of the show? All good? All good. There we go. You can market cap, 90.7 billion rand, PE of 20.2, dividend yield of 3.3.
Christopher, what do you think of these oaks?
Sheer brilliance. Absolute brilliance. Do you know, they left Nigeria about 3 years ago. Not really for all the best reasons under the sun. They didn't have such a wonderful offering in Nigeria, from what I'm led to believe. And they moved their direction to the southern hemisphere into Australia. And the rest is history. They've done phenomenally well, and particularly most recently in terms of the property sales that they've done there. So I think, this really is absolute strategic genius out of these guys. And if we take the clothing side out of the equation and look purely at the food side, they have no competitors in that space whatsoever, other than a few of the spar operators, the likes of out near Danefern there and one or two others. But generally speaking, they are so far removed from the others, it's not funny.
How do you know it's Christopher and not Christoph?
Him?
Yes.
Well, he's from...
I've only ever known him as Chris.
He's from, Scotland,
Is it Chris?
so there are
Is
only
it Christopher?
Christophs there.
Christopher.
Well, I don't
The
mind.
way that you opened the show with your demeanour this morning is definitely Christopher.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fine, thank you.
But that's Chris.
The Australian thing,
we're
remember...
going, absolutely. Let's look at the share price and you can talk to us.
Ian Moyer, remember, is a Scot too, like Christopher, and he was then in Australia for a long time where he kind of learned the ropes there and he got involved with Country Road and so on and so forth, and then he came to South Africa. So the South African business is extremely well positioned, but the big lever, I think, is going to be Australia. They've got to work out how to maximize that balance sheet. Chris has referred to a couple of property tweaks. They've got superb frontage over there.
How long
in those
have
big
we
cities.
been invested in Woolworths?
A long time. We owned it all the way through back in the day when we were a bit more involved with speculating, and we've got them, I think, in at around sort of 70 or something rands a share. We added to them in this new era. They went all the way to 100 plus, and they've sagged back recently to 85. Did we look at the share price?
We did. Let's just
It's
look at
not
it
looking
again.
all that toasty, to be honest. It's looking a little bit slack, and it hasn't really recovered much, and it does worry
So
me a
you're
little
seeing
bit.
that same sideways tracking that we were looking at in ShopRite a moment ago.
You see, Bronwyn, I think one of the concerns with Woolies, 60% of their earnings still coming out of South Africa. And this economy we've got here, we're flirting with recession. So, having said that, I think an awful lot of their customers, the emerging middle class particularly, understand exquisitely the price-value relationship and are quite prepared to pay the kind of prices at Woolies, almost regardless of the economic conditions. So I think, unfortunately, they're being marked down perhaps unnecessarily.
Almost a contagion among the grocery stores.
Exactly.
What about the clothing offering? Let me ask you two guys here. I mean, do you or any of your family members buy clothing or colleagues buy clothing at Woolies?
Yes, they've got some very good little boutique stores within the broader offering. There's Witchery, there's Country Road, to name but a few. Trenery.
And the buying seems to be good. I mean, the advertising and the branding and the way that they send documentation out to their core customers showing this month's specials and so on is very well done.
Yeah, look, the clothing size changed beyond recognition relative to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
As Bronwyn says, you're getting a lot of these niche operations, particularly places like Hyde Park, for example. No, it's very, very clever.
Also the financial services offering.
Yep.
I have to admit that I do have a Woolworths financial services card, and the reward system is very good.
And of course it's linked
buying
to
healthy
Discovery
food, going
as
back
well.
to the grocery
Yeah.
part of the equation, linked to buying healthy foods and the amount of money that you get back, etc., etc.
Good.
Hot or not? Are we going hot or not?
Oh,
Chris?
this is sizzling.
Sizzling hot. And
Flaming hot? Yes,
Paul?
no. For
Hot,
sure, we own
for
it,
sure.
and we certainly are looking forward to better returns from the share price.